Top 10 Budget Destinations Around the World. As a backpacker who has traveled for more than 6 years now, I'm always looking forward to the next destination. But I'm also looking forward to visiting places where I can stretch my money. Between booking flights, accommodation, and other forms of transportation, traveling can quickly become an expensive experience. But it doesn't have to be that way. In fact, almost every destination can be done with a small budget if you're open to traveling like a local and staying within budget accommodation. Also, did you know that some of the world's most beautiful destinations are also the cheapest ones? I'm going to share with you a few of the top destinations where you can stretch your budget and get a more rewarding travel experience for your money. Starting out at number 10, Bolivia has the perfect combination of stunningly beautiful sights, good food, and rich culture, and all that can be appreciated with just a tiny budget. Of all of my trips across South America, Bolivia probably came as the cheapest destination on the continent, and still I did every experience on my bucket list. Things like visiting the Salar de Uyuni, going to the mines in Potosi, and biking down the Death Road, among many other adventures. Transportation, accommodation, food, and activities in Bolivia are incredibly affordable. I even remember splurging, eating steak a few nights in a row because it was around $6 a meal. Do not miss visiting the Salar de Uyuni and staying 1 or 2 nights in the national park, which has some of the most stunning, almost surreal landscapes you'll see in all of South America. At number 9, we have Nicaragua. Central America in general is a budget-friendly destination, but Nicaragua is probably one of the most diverse and affordable countries in the region. Here you'll find volcanic landscapes, colonial architecture, spectacular beaches, and pristine forests that are some of the most breathtaking in the world. While here, you can have the perfect combination of adrenaline with volcano boarding and canoeing in alligator-infested waters, followed by the pure bliss of snorkeling in the crystal-clear water of the Corn Islands. You can have a well-rounded trip with a budget of only $30 to $40 per day, assuming you'll be staying in hostels, tasting the traditional dishes at local restaurants, and using public transportation to move around the country. Coming in at number 8, Egypt has always been a bargain, but after the revolution it became an even cheaper destination. Its ancient history, monuments, and culture have captivated travelers for centuries now. But what also makes Egypt interesting is that whether you're a luxury or a budget traveler, you will get a lot out of Egypt in comparison to what you pay. Start your trip in Cairo and head south to Luxor and Aswan to hit the major sites in the country. Plus, don't miss traveling along the Nile River on a felucca. It is one of the most iconic experiences in the country. Food can cost as low as 30 cents, and taking a taxi will generally cost less than $3. You can travel quite comfortably in Egypt for $50 a day, but you can easily do it for as low as $30 and less if you want to save some money. At number 7, we have Latvia. Riga, the capital of Latvia, is considered a European capital of culture, yet it is still slightly under the radar. If you like architecture, the city center is full of Art Nouveau buildings, and Old Riga is full of impressive landmarks, such as the medieval Riga Cathedral and St. Peter's Church. If architecture is not your thing, you can travel around the country and head to the Baltic Sea to enjoy the scenery and the white sandy beaches. Even though you're in an up-and-coming European country, prices are still low, and most things are very affordable even for shoestring backpackers. Landing at number 6, we have Poland. If you're a history buff, then Poland is a country that you should definitely visit. Visiting Poland is like taking a condensed European history lesson that stretches over centuries and covers both the highlights and the lowlights of this country's troubled past. In Warsaw, for example, the oldest and most historic part of the city was almost completely destroyed during World War II, but today, after intense restoration efforts, it stands as a living UNESCO site with several cafes, galleries, and restaurants. While they might be a bit pricey for Poland standards, they are still cheaper than Western counterparts. Add Krakow to this trip and you will have one of the most emotive and culturally rich trips of your life. At number 5, we have Vietnam. Vietnam is well known for its struggles throughout history, but that's not all that there is to Vietnam. This country is well known for its delicious street food, the vast ranges of budget accommodation, and its beautiful landscapes that range from desert dunes to rice terraces, and gorgeous bays like Ha Long Bay. Don't miss doing the overnight cruise on the bay. There you'll see some of the most beautiful sunsets and sunrises in the country. Cities like Hanoi, the capital, and Ho Chi Minh City are the perfect introduction to the chaotic Southeast Asian city experience. Sights and attractions are very affordable for Western standards, and food costs just a fraction of what you might be used to, going from $2 to $3, with beers costing as low as $1. Vietnam has an excellent travel infrastructure, so getting almost anywhere in the country can be done cheaply and efficiently. Coming in at number 4, we have Thailand. One of the most appealing things about Thailand is its vast diversity in nature and sights, ranging from lush mountains to the north to the pristine beaches of the south, and how every type of traveler, from budget to luxury, fit there comfortably as if each Thai destination was made just for them. Bangkok is quite cheap, but even cheaper is Chiang Mai, a popular cultural spot with hundreds of Buddhist temples, local tribe villages, and a plethora of delicious street food. A budget trip through Thailand will range anywhere from $30 to $40 per day, but if you're really laid back and a shoestring traveler, you can do it for as low as $20 a day. At number 3, we have Laos. While popular among backpackers, Laos doesn't have the same high number of visitors as its neighboring countries, Thailand and Vietnam, do. Instead, Laos still keeps a relatively low profile, offering more rugged and laid-back experiences at affordable prices. Luang Prabang, with its mixed colonial architecture and picturesque temples, is probably the most charming and famous place that you can visit in Laos. Its well-known, laid-back, and somewhat romantic vibe will make you not want to leave anytime soon. The city is slightly more expensive than Vang Vieng, famous for its river tubing and parties, and Vientiane, the capital, but you can still manage to do it for $35 or less per day on average. Also, make sure not to miss waking up before sunrise to see the collection of alms, a procession made by monks across the city where they collect offerings of food and money from the locals. Coming in at number 2, we have India, and in my opinion, India offers the best of both worlds when it comes to travel. A culturally rich destination, but still very affordable to all kinds of travelers, from luxury to shoestring backpackers. As a backpacker, I managed to travel India for an average of $15 a day, visiting most major cities and attractions in the country. Food and drinks are very cheap in India, especially if you're vegetarian and stick to Indian cuisine. Transportation is also incredibly affordable since it's mostly priced for the locals. I highly recommend going to the Himalayas, which will present a completely different India from what you probably expect. Also, make sure not to miss the famous Golden Triangle of Jaipur, Delhi, and Agra, where you'll see the stunning Taj Mahal. Just know that India will be an intense experience, both positive and negative. So be ready for it. And taking home the top spot on this list, Nepal is home to half of Mount Everest and a strong, colorful Buddhist culture. Hiking Everest or reaching its base camp is quite costly, but if you're just interested in seeing the mountain from a distance and enjoying the best Nepal has to offer, then you're in the right place. Nepal has some of the cheapest cities for travelers. Among them are Kathmandu, its capital city, and Pokhara, which is Nepal's picturesque base town for world-famous treks like the Annapurna Circuit and other budget-friendly hikes. If you go very local in your budget accommodation and eat Nepali cuisine, you could spend as little as $7 to $10 per day. Also, don't miss immersing yourself in the culture by visiting the Hindu temples like Pashupatinath or the Buddhist monasteries in the mountains.